Hi, BrenTech here, where tech is made simple. So yesterday we had a look at the Statcounter Global Stats survey results for the desktop browser market share. And I'll leave a link to that video down below. And today we're going to have a quick look at the desktop Windows version market share worldwide by Statcounter, who have released their survey results for the month of July just a couple of hours ago. So just to do a quick comparison between June and July, if you would be interested. Now, once again, starting at the back, as we always do, Windows XP, as I have been mentioning over the last couple of months, does keep surprising us and doesn't seem to be going anywhere just yet. And Windows XP, as mentioned previously, is a very popular and well-used operating system still in many regions of the world. And in June, Windows XP was 0.35% and has dropped just by 0.02% to 0.33%. And is very close to catching up with Windows 8 to move into fifth place, which I think over the next couple of months, Windows XP will overtake Windows 8 in regards to the Statcounter Global Stats survey results. And for the last 2 months, there's only been a 0.02% difference between Windows XP and Windows 8, which is interesting. So this does give us a good indication that I think Windows XP very soon will overtake Windows 8, and that will be the fifth most used Windows operating system, which doesn't come as a surprise because it is still a well-known and well-used operating system. Then moving on to Windows 8, 0.37% down to 0.35% for July. Now, moving on to Windows 8.1 and Windows 7, which, by the way, are the only two versions of Windows that have actually increased in market share between June and July. So Windows 8.1 up from 0.68% to 0.7%, and Windows 7 up from 3.43% to 3.7%. And by the way, in case you are unaware, Windows 7, 8.1, 8, and XP, these four versions are all unsupported versions which have reached their end of life and are no longer supported by Microsoft. But nonetheless, Windows 7, Windows 8.1, two unsupported versions are the only versions that have actually increased in that market share as mentioned. Then moving on to first and second place, and obviously Windows 10 and Windows 11 are the only two supported versions in regards to this survey by Statcounter. Windows 11 and Windows 10 have also kind of stagnated. Not much major growth going on in any of those two versions of Windows, because last month Windows 11 was 23.91% and is actually down to 23.68%. So it's actually dropped a little bit in its market share. And Windows 10, the same applies. For June was 71.11%, down to 71.1%. So both supported versions basically have plateaued, which we can see if we head over to the main chart provided by Statcounter. This will just give us obviously that wider perspective and just put things into context. So here we can see at the top, Windows 10, although it's still very dominant, a major lead still, over the last 4 months hasn't really increased or gone anywhere when it comes to increasing its market share. We can see kind of plateaued and stagnated. And the same applies with Windows 11, which is this pale blue line. Now, Windows 11 over the last year, as we can see every month, as I have posted with these Statcounter surveys, has basically increased on a regular basis every month. But here we can see over the last 4 months, the same is applying as with Windows 10, stagnated and plateaued and not really growing. So this is going to be interesting to see if Microsoft does roll out, and when Microsoft does roll out a Windows 12, a possible Windows 12 in the latter half of next year, what's going to happen with the Windows 11 market share. But nonetheless, Windows 10, Windows 11 haven't actually significantly increased in their actual market share. And yeah, at the bottom, we get Windows 7 in this kind of light orange line. Over the last 4-5 months has also stagnated and plateaued. And then the final three, Windows 8 XP and Windows 8.1, have almost become one continuous line. And we can see that from the percentages, not much really going on between the differences in percentages with those last three versions of Windows. So that's no surprise, because obviously those are unsupported versions. But watch Windows XP. It's going to be interesting to see if and when it does overtake Windows 8. And as mentioned, Windows 11 hasn't decreased between June and July, and dropped a little bit in its market share. So thanks for watching, and I will see you in the next one.